Greenblatt with AVNation. I'm here at Biamp. It's ISE 2019. And with me right now is Joanne Drulis, Executive Vice President of Corporate Development.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Joe. We just were speaking with Rashid and Megan, and they were telling us about some of the strategies that Rashid has put into place. Obviously, Biamp has grown over the past year.
Yes.
And can you explain a little bit about how that has translated into some of the new products?
I would love to. So Rashid Bino mentioned that our vision is to connect people through extraordinary audiovisual experiences, and what we do is use technology to go and make that happen. The basic way we implement or act on that vision is to consider all the problems that an organization has where technology can contribute to a better experience for connecting to people, from the largest venues to the smallest. And what you see in all of the releases that we're exhibiting here this year is a pursuit of that strategy. In the largest spaces, we've, through acquisition, now have available sound masking technology that's going to help address open office challenges where conversations might impede productivity of other office workers or confidentiality might be an issue. In some of the smaller spaces, large presentation structures like lecture halls and auditorium, we've got some exciting new releases. We've entered the speaker business with some very elegantly designed pendant speakers. Those are paired with a brand new line of power amplifier that are designed to work seamlessly with the Tessera platforms, the signal processing platforms that are very popular in those venues. They have some great new unique features like full asymmetry, 802.1x protection, flexible media interfaces to provide a really, really great installation experience. So a lot of things that we hope make them very attractive to the installers. Maybe one of the most unique offerings that we've introduced in the presentation arena is something called Crowd Mics. And Crowd Mics is intended to address the challenge of having an interactive experience between a presenter and a large audience. And today, the technology isn't really ideal for doing that. You have people running around with microphones or holding their hands up for a poll or shouting out questions, none of which is really a great experience for the moderator or the attendee. And it occurred to us, why not take advantage of the microphone everybody's carrying with them, their smartphone, and use that to connect them to the presenter. And so Crowd Mics does exactly that. It allows the participants to indicate on their phone that they have a question they'd like to ask. They can text it in. They can put a little indicator that will show up to the moderator as basically an electronic hand raise. The moderator can recognize them, activate their phone, and when they speak, it comes over the PA system, and it makes a really, really natural, convenient experience for both parties. So it's a really, really neat product. We're real excited for what it could transform into. And then in the smallest spaces, we have some great new solutions for conferencing. Some ceiling speakers that fill out the signal chain for us. Those are paired with a brand new PoE amplifier that matches up, goes directly to our processor. And maybe the most elegant and exciting release of all is we have two new alternatives to our pendant microphone, which has been received very, very successfully by the market for the superior audio quality of its beam tracking technology. But not everybody wants a pendant. And so we have a really elegant looking new ceiling mount variation and a desk mount variation. So lots and lots of new introductions at the show. There's even some I haven't touched on, but I think that gives you an indication of our commitment to the entire organization.
Absolutely. You mentioned that you look for those problems that need to be solved.
Yes.
And I'm sure that there are plenty more that still are out there.
Oh, certainly.
And anything in particular that is catching your eye that you think Biamp may be able to alleviate?
Certainly, and you probably got from Rashid that we're very, very confidential with our new product introductions. But if you just think about the other opportunities there are for adding collaborative capabilities in all those different space types, you'll have a pretty clear idea of where we're going to be going. So certainly video is a big important component. We have a starting point in video. You can imagine that we'll continue to go and progress that further. Certainly more options to provide collaborative technologies are going to be a big part of our agenda. Increasing support for those large venues where we now have a more complete set of offerings, but there's so much more that we can still add to that will be a key priority. So again, I know I'm being relatively vague, and that's our basic game plan.
Absolutely.
But you think about those spaces and what needs support there, you'll probably find Biamp there.
So what would you recommend to integrators, those customers that need to really prepare themselves for the future?
With respect to Biamp, feed your ideas to us. We listen very, very intently. Even though we may not give you specific responses when we're going to come out with things, you can be assured your voice is heard. And we're hoping that the array of new product introductions demonstrate that in a very concrete fashion to our integrator community. We're here to make them successful. We can't succeed without giving them the tools to properly support customers, and that is our one and only mission.
And I'll wrap up with this. What about ISE is important to you and Biamp?
Well, is there a bigger stage for releasing new products? Not in the entire world. There really isn't. So we're excited by the amounts of exposure we can give to our new products here at to the integrator and the end user community that ISE grants us, and which is why ISE is such an important platform for us to make these introductions. We're just excited to have the opportunity to share our new ideas with the world.
Well, thank you for your time.
You bet. Thank you, Steve.
This has been Joe Andrulis from Biamp, and I'm Steve Greenblatt with AVNation at ISE 2019.